Since then, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face.
What evidence is there here? What is at this site?
Here at this site, we have the tomb of Moses.
There's a tomb here.
Yeah,
Of Moses.
yes.
Ron Wyatt, a nurse anesthetist by profession, has accomplished extraordinary feats despite not being a trained archaeologist or scientist. He has unearthed nearly a dozen artifacts, landmarks, and sites that many experts have searched for in vain. Among his most impressive discoveries is the Tomb of Moses, a figure of immense significance in religious history. What sets his discovery of Moses' tomb apart from his other findings? What evidence does he provide for this groundbreaking revelation? Join us as we unveil the discovery of Moses' tomb, sealed for 2,000 years. We are Jesus Eternal Aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon for all the latest updates.
Now, if it were just simply getting into the chamber, we could do that. It's not like just treasure hunting where you go in and consider taking care of the objects that are beyond this wall.
Ron Wyatt and the search for Moses' tomb. Ronald Eldon Wyatt, better known as Ron Wyatt, was an American nurse anesthetist who gained notoriety as an enthusiastic amateur archaeologist. Over his lifetime, Wyatt claimed to have made nearly 100 significant discoveries related to biblical archaeology. Among his most notable and controversial assertions is the claim that he discovered the burial site of Moses, a monumental figure revered in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Moses is known for leading the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and receiving the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. The story of the Exodus and Moses' life has fascinated believers across these religions for thousands of years. Despite Moses' significant role in history, the exact location of his tomb remains one of the Bible's greatest mysteries. Researchers have been on a relentless quest to find Moses' final resting place for centuries. Ron Wyatt, much like many other archaeologists, believed that Moses was buried near Mount Nebo, a site in modern-day Jordan. According to the Bible, Moses climbed Mount Nebo to view the Promised Land, which God had promised to the Israelites. After seeing this land, the Bible states that Moses died there. Wyatt was convinced he had discovered this significant burial site around Mount Nebo. However, the Bible does not specify the exact location of Moses' burial, only that it was in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor. Tradition holds that Moses ended up on the other side of the valley and died there on Mount Nebo. Wyatt's assertion, therefore, posed the tantalizing possibility of uncovering a missing piece of the biblical narrative. Despite Wyatt's claims of finding not only Moses' tomb, but also other significant biblical sites, he did not provide enough solid evidence for other experts to verify his discoveries. When explorers claim to have found important sites or ancient artifacts, they must present clear, verifiable proof. This might include artifacts, detailed maps, photographs, or scientific tests that can be independently confirmed. Wyatt did not supply sufficient evidence of this nature, which led to widespread skepticism among professional archaeologists and scholars. Professional archaeologists have meticulous methods for studying ancient sites. They dig carefully, maintain detailed records, and use scientific tools to analyze their findings. Wyatt's approach did not always adhere to these rigorous standards, making it difficult for other experts to trust his conclusions. As a result, many professional archaeologists and scholars scrutinized Wyatt's work and found it lacking in credibility. They found numerous problems with Wyatt's claims. For instance, they pointed out that he lacked proper evidence, such as artifacts from the site that could be verified. Additionally, they noted several mistakes in his research and highlighted that he often didn't follow the correct procedures for archaeological study. Due to these issues, many experts criticized his work. Ron Wyatt is not the only one who has claimed to have found Moses' tomb. Over the years, several religious believers, archaeologists, and scientists have come forward, each boasting of discovering this elusive biblical resting place. Among them is Josh Gates, who has presented perhaps the most convincing argument since Wyatt's claims. Gates, a well-known television presenter and explorer, has approached the search for Moses' tomb with a combination of enthusiasm and scientific rigor, garnering attention from both the public and the academic community. Josh Gates's approach to the search for Moses' tomb stands in contrast to Wyatt's methods. Gates emphasizes the importance of using modern technology and scientific techniques to validate archaeological discoveries. His expeditions often involve the use of advanced tools such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D mapping, and DNA analysis, which provide a more reliable basis for verifying findings. Gates also collaborates with professional archaeologists and experts in related fields to ensure that his research meets the highest standards of academic rigor. One of the key aspects of Gates's argument is his focus on the geographical and historical context of Moses' life and death. He carefully examines ancient texts, maps, and archaeological evidence to piece together a coherent narrative that aligns with both the biblical account and historical records. This methodical approach helps to build a more compelling case for the location of Moses' tomb, even if definitive proof remains elusive. Despite the advancements in technology and methodology, the search for Moses' tomb continues to be a challenging endeavor. The harsh and often inhospitable terrain around Mount Nebo, combined with the passage of millennia, makes it difficult to find clear and unambiguous evidence. Additionally, the lack of contemporary records and the symbolic nature of many biblical accounts add layers of complexity to the search. While the quest to find Moses' tomb is fraught with difficulties, it also highlights the enduring fascination with this iconic biblical figure. Moses' life and achievements continue to inspire believers and scholars alike, prompting ongoing exploration and debate. The mystery of his final resting place serves as a testament to the rich and complex tapestry of religious history and the enduring quest for knowledge and understanding. Ron Wyatt's claims about discovering Moses' tomb, while intriguing, have not withstood the scrutiny of professional archaeologists and scholars due to a lack of verifiable evidence and methodological rigor. Nonetheless, the search for Moses' tomb remains an ongoing and compelling pursuit. Figures like Josh Gates continue to explore this mystery with a combination of modern technology and scientific rigor, offering hope that one day, the final resting place of one of history's most significant figures may be revealed. The journey to uncover Moses' tomb is a reminder of the enduring allure of biblical archaeology and the quest to connect with the ancient past through the lens of faith and science. In a 2022 episode of his show Expedition Unknown, archaeologist Josh Gates and his team embarked on an intriguing quest to trace the journey of Moses, aiming to locate his tomb and uncover artifacts connected to his story. Their journey took them from Mount Sinai deep into the Israeli desert, following the paths that Moses might have walked. They also explored the Sea of Galilee, broadening their search in an attempt to find tangible evidence of Moses' presence and the historical events described in the Bible. During their expedition, Gates and his team conducted a sonar mapping of the Sea of Galilee's lakebed. This technology allowed them to detect a massive anomaly beneath the water, a cone-shaped structure rising over 30 feet high and stretching 200 feet wide from the sediment. Initially, this formation was believed to be a natural geological feature. However, subsequent investigations by scuba divers revealed something extraordinary. The structure was a deliberate arrangement of boulders, stacked meticulously in a specific pattern by human hands long ago. The sheer size and scale of this underwater structure were unprecedented in archaeological excavations beneath the sea. Composed of over 60,000 tons of massive basalt boulders, its construction would have required an extraordinary effort by an advanced ancient civilization. This discovery left Gates and his team astounded. To understand the structure better, they employed seismic imaging technology, meticulously mapping out the strange monument. Their analysis led to an astonishing revelation. This man-made structure dates back more than 4,000 years to the Bronze Age, aligning closely with the biblical timeline of Moses' life. Upon discovering the structure, Gates proposed that it could be compelling archaeological evidence linked directly to the legendary tale of Miriam's well from the Old Testament book of Exodus. According to this ancient scripture, Miriam's well was a miraculous rock formation that accompanied the Israelites during their arduous 40-year journey through the Sinai desert, providing them with water following their liberation from Egyptian slavery. The account details that when Miriam, the older sister of Moses and Aaron, passed away, the magical well suddenly ceased to flow. However, the absence of definitive inscriptions, hieroglyphics, or artifacts in Hebrew or Semitic languages found alongside the monument complicates archaeologists' and scholars' ability to conclusively link it to the Exodus narratives, at least not yet. Moreover, if Miriam's well is indeed connected to both Moses' story and Miriam's passing, a significant question arises. Why would it be submerged in the Sea of Galilee when Miriam's last moments occurred elsewhere, at Kadesh? This discrepancy warrants caution and measured skepticism before confidently identifying this structure as the site of Miriam's well mentioned in the Old Testament. Further excavation and analysis are necessary to uncover more evidence and establish a clearer connection. Adding layers of complexity to this remarkable discovery are the diverse accounts, traditions, and viewpoints across different major religions. Each religion has its own interpretation of historical events, which further complicates the monument's interpretation and significance. Rabbi Schneerson and Moses' burial site add another compelling dimension to this discussion. The late Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, an esteemed leader of the Chabad Lubavitch Hasidic movement, also claimed to have insights into the location of Moses' burial site. His assertions have intrigued many and added another layer of mystery to the ongoing search for Moses' final resting place. In Jewish tradition, it is believed that Moses was buried in a valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor. But no one knows his burial place to this day. This has led to centuries of speculation and numerous expeditions, much like the one led by Gates, to locate this elusive tomb. Rabbi Schneerson's contributions to this field of inquiry highlight the religious significance and the enduring fascination with Moses' final resting place. The quest to find Moses' tomb and the possible discovery of structures linked to biblical narratives like Miriam's well is not just an archaeological pursuit, but also a journey into the heart of ancient religious traditions and beliefs. Each new discovery holds the potential to reshape our understanding of history and provide deeper insights into the lives of significant biblical figures. However, it is essential to approach these findings with a balanced perspective, considering both the scientific evidence and the rich tapestry of religious traditions that surround these ancient stories. Gates's expedition underscores the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in archaeology, combining advanced technology with traditional fieldwork to uncover hidden aspects of our past. The discovery of the underwater structure in the Sea of Galilee is a testament to the ingenuity and capabilities of ancient civilizations, whose achievements continue to inspire awe and curiosity in the modern world. It also serves as a reminder of the intricate connections between history, religion, and archaeology, each contributing to a fuller understanding of our collective heritage. As Gates and his team continue their exploration, the hope remains that further excavations and analyses will provide more definitive evidence linking these structures to the biblical narratives. Such discoveries have the potential to not only confirm historical accounts, but also to deepen our appreciation of the ancient world and the enduring legacy of its peoples. The journey to uncover the mysteries of the past is ongoing, and each step brings us closer to a more comprehensive understanding of our history and the stories that have shaped it. The quest for Moses' tomb and the search for Miriam's well are emblematic of the broader human endeavor to connect with our ancient past. Through the use of cutting-edge technology and meticulous research, archaeologists like Josh Gates are uncovering remarkable evidence that bridges the gap between history and mythology. These discoveries invite us to reconsider the stories we have inherited and to explore the profound connections between our present and the distant past. In the 1980s, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, a revered figure within the Jewish community, made a claim that garnered significant attention among his followers and enthusiasts of biblical archaeology. He asserted to have visited Moses' tomb during a trip to Egypt. This claim, bolstered by Rabbi Schneerson's esteemed reputation, ignited curiosity and speculation, but unfortunately lacked concrete documentation or tangible evidence to substantiate it. Rabbi Schneerson did not provide specific details or proof to bolster his assertion, leaving many questions unanswered. The reported visit to Moses' tomb by Rabbi Schneerson aligns closely with various medieval Jewish traditions that pinpoint Mount Nebo in present-day Jordan as Moses' final resting place. These traditions, deeply rooted in religious texts rather than empirical archaeological findings, reflect similar beliefs found across the Middle East. In regions such as Egypt, Jordan, and Israel, local beliefs designate specific locations as Moses' tomb, each entrenched in cultural and religious heritage passed down through generations. In Egypt, several sites are venerated as potential locations of Moses' burial, notably Mount Sinai in the Sinai Peninsula, where tradition holds that Moses received the Ten Commandments. Apart from Mount Sinai and Mount Nebo in Jordan, other locations in the Jordan Valley and near Mount Nebo itself are also regarded as possible sites of Moses' tomb, according to local customs and folklore. Shrines and monuments constructed by communities at these sites underscore their profound significance to the legacy of Moses. Israel, too, lays claim to multiple sites believed to be Moses' final resting place. One tradition places it near Jericho, where it is said Moses died and was buried directly by God. Another site, located in Nablus in the West Bank, designates a specific tomb to Moses. These conflicting traditions raise compelling questions about authenticity and historical accuracy. The biblical narrative concerning Moses' death and burial offers vague details regarding the precise location of his tomb. Changes in landscapes over time and the scarcity of reliable historical records further complicate efforts to verify these traditions. The enduring popularity of these local beliefs highlights their cultural and religious significance, yet the absence of archaeological validation leaves them primarily within the realm of faith and tradition rather than historical fact. Despite the absence of empirical evidence, the persistence of these traditions underscores their enduring cultural and religious relevance across generations. The reverence for Moses, a central figure in Judaism, continues to inspire devotion and scholarly inquiry into the historical and archaeological contexts surrounding his life and death. Rabbi Schneerson's purported visit to Moses' tomb, while lacking substantiation, serves as a poignant example of how religious faith and historical inquiry intersect in the quest to understand ancient figures and their legacies. The exploration of Moses' burial place remains a compelling subject of study, reflecting broader themes of faith, tradition, and the search for historical truth in the ancient world. Unveiling Moses' hidden burial in Deuteronomy underscores his pivotal role not only through the centrality of his narrative, but explicitly in its closing verses, affirming him as Israel's greatest prophet and leader, despite God's actions limiting his ambitions and ending his life. These verses solidify Moses' unparalleled status. No other figure received a panoramic view of the Promised Land, was escorted to death by God himself, or had their burial place veiled from knowledge until this very day. The mystery surrounding the concealment of Moses' burial challenges earlier biblical traditions that emphasized honoring and memorializing the graves of Israel's leaders like Abraham and Jacob. Levi ben Gerson, also known as Ralbag, a prominent medieval French thinker, offers a provocative explanation for this divine intervention. He suggests that revealing Moses' grave might lead future generations to idolize him, similar to how some turned the copper serpent Moses made into an object of worship, as recounted in the Book of Numbers. Ralbag's concerns about Moses worship gain traction when considering Moses' teachings in Deuteronomy 4, where he warns against idolatry and instructs Israel in negative theology, emphasizing what God is not and what should not be worshipped. Specifically forbidding worship of images of humans, animals, celestial bodies, and natural elements, Moses aimed to preserve monotheism and prevent the deification of figures like himself. Thus, while Moses' hidden burial may seem paradoxical, it aligns with his teachings and ensures that Israel's faith remains focused on God alone, safeguarding against the pitfalls of idolatry across generations. Delving into this fascinating puzzle, one might ponder how God would conceal someone's burial place. Many would echo Moses' words about something being above the heavens or beyond the sea. According to biblical records, God has demonstrated such concealment before. Elijah ascended to heaven with only one witness knowing his location, and Jonah famously avoided death at sea. Clearly, when God chooses to hide a body, he succeeds. However, in the case of Moses, contrary to common belief, the text in Deuteronomy 34 clearly states where he was buried, and he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab opposite the house of Peor. This is followed by the mystery that no man knew his burial place to this very day. Some might argue that this description is vague, as Moses was alone during his burial, and the agent of burial is ambiguously referred to as he. It might seem his body was effectively hidden. Moreover, the valley mentioned is broad, and it's unclear who knew that Moses was buried there rather than on Mount Nebo. However, these objections fade upon closer examination. First, there should be no uncertainty about which valley is meant for those looking for Moses' grave, as it was mentioned earlier in Deuteronomy as their campsite in the valley opposite Beth Peor. Secondly, one doesn't need to locate a holy man's body to establish a shrine in their honor. Consider the many shrines today, Jewish and otherwise, where it's doubtful the revered saint is actually buried there. The information provided is ample for admirers of Moses to erect a shrine. Even if they didn't know the exact burial site in the valley, they could have built the shrine on nearby Mount Nebo. Ron Wyatt, known for uncovering biblical treasures, delved into biblical archaeology with fervor. His explorations unearthed relics and sites that provided insights into ancient biblical narratives, including the potential locations of significant events such as Noah's Ark and the crossing of the Red Sea. Wyatt's work, while controversial among some scholars, has sparked interest and debate in the archaeological community, challenging established interpretations and raising new questions about the historical accuracy of biblical accounts. The story of Moses' hidden burial place in Deuteronomy reveals not only the complexity of biblical narrative and interpretation, but also the enduring significance of Moses as a central figure in Judaism and Christianity. His teachings on monotheism and idolatry remain foundational, influencing religious thought and practice to this day. The mystery surrounding his burial serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of idolizing human figures, reinforcing the importance of faith focused solely on God. As interpretations and archaeological discoveries continue to evolve, Moses' legacy endures, his teachings echoing through millennia as a guiding light in the faith of millions. The Noah's Ark controversy in 1985. Wyatt partnered with David Fuld, a former merchant marine officer, and Dr. John Baumgardner, a geophysicist at the site where Wyatt claimed to have found Noah's Ark, initially collaborating Fuld, and Wyatt eventually parted ways due to disagreements over certain details of the discovery. Dr. Baumgardner, initially cautiously optimistic, eventually concluded that the site did not contain the remains of Noah's Ark subsequently. In 1990, an Australian named Dr. Alan Roberts visited Wyatt's site and later founded Ark Search, an organization aimed at funding archaeological digs with Wyatt. Their joint efforts gained global attention in September 1991, when Wyatt Roberts and 3 others were kidnapped by Kurdish guerrillas and held captive for 3 weeks. Despite this ordeal, both Wyatt and Roberts continued to promote the site as the potential resting place of Noah's Ark, gaining further publicity through national television appearances that added to the intrigue. Wyatt leveraged these media appearances to discuss his findings using footage from the site to create a widely circulated video that captivated many Christians and sparked hope that Noah's Ark had finally been discovered simultaneously in early 1992. Dr. Roberts traveled across Australia delivering lectures on the site's significance. His organization Ark Search published a booklet summarizing their evidence and distributed a video recording of his public talks. Despite the enthusiastic efforts and the buzz they generated, a closer examination of the claim revealed that the evidence did not withstand scrutiny. Surveys employing metal detectors uncovered patterns of hotspots, indicating high iron content arranged in lines running both lengthwise and across the site's interior. These iron-rich areas, while initially suggestive, ultimately did not substantiate the claim of discovering Noah's Ark using a standard metal detector. Similar to those used for beachcombing a long pole with a disc-shaped detector, head researchers discovered scattered hotspots, not arranged in any orderly lines. These hotspots likely indicate objects with high metal content buried within the surface mudflow material. This finding corresponds to the presence of basal boulders, a common volcanic rock in the area often weathered, and containing iron oxides that trigger positive reactions in metal detectors. In contrast, the surrounding dead mud does not register on the detector. Moreover, repeated surveys with the metal detector confirmed that these hotspots were randomly distributed and did not form any coherent pattern. Despite this, some have incorrectly claimed that these random hotspots support diagrams depicting the internal structure of a boat, such as Noah's Ark, in June-July 1986. Dr. Baumgardner and Dr. William Shea were in Turkey, planning to join Wyatt at the site. However, Wyatt and David Fuld had already visited the site without permission, conducting a brief 30-minute radar scan over only the southernmost part of the boat-shaped formation known as the prow. When Shea met Wyatt, he received copies of these radar scans which were later shared with others for analysis. Although a permit for further investigation was eventually granted, local restrictions imposed by the police and military prevented Wyatt Fuld and their team from returning with a radar scanner. Consequently, the planned comprehensive radar survey of the entire formation never occurred, at least not under Wyatt and Fuld supervision. Despite this setback, Wyatt and Roberts proceeded to publish diagrams of the boat-shaped formation, claiming to reveal an internal structure with transverse and longitudinal divisions. They referred to these features as bulkheads and gunnels, citing Fuld's limited 1986 survey to support their assertions. Additionally, Wyatt and Roberts referenced Tom Fenner from Geophysical Survey Systems Incorporated in New Hampshire, who reportedly examined the 1986 radar scans and concluded that the formation was an artificial boat. In the relentless heat of the arid Sinai Desert, where time seemed suspended under the weight of millennia, a team of archaeologists stood in awe around a monumental find, the long-sealed tomb of Moses. Dr. Ella Hartley, renowned for her meticulous approach to archaeology, stood at the forefront of this discovery, her eyes alight with a mixture of disbelief and scholarly excitement. Beside her, Dr. Michael Hayes, a passionate historian, feverishly documented every detail, capturing the essence of a moment that would redefine our understanding of early Hebrew history. The tomb, discovered after millennia of obscurity, revealed itself with breathtaking clarity. Its open sarcophagus, intricately carved with ancient symbols, emitted an aura of profound reverence and mystery. The scene was a tableau of scholarly endeavor and historical significance, as a team of scientists meticulously cataloged artifacts that spoke of a bygone era. Among them lay a weathered staff, possibly that of Moses himself, alongside scrolls bearing Hebrew scriptures and pottery fragments adorned with enigmatic hieroglyphs hinting at the Exodus narrative. In the waning light of the desert sun, casting long shadows over the ancient sands, Ella whispered in awe, "This changes everything we know about early Hebrew history." Michael, equally captivated by the momentous discovery, could scarcely articulate his thoughts. To think we've uncovered such tangible evidence of Moses, it's beyond words. The air buzzed with scholarly debate and the hum of instruments analyzing ancient residues. Each artifact, each inscription, added a layer to the unfolding narrative of Moses and the Exodus. The team worked tirelessly, driven by the gravity of their findings and the implications for human history. As evening descended upon the desert, Ella glanced at the headline on her tablet. Scientists finally found Moses' tomb, sealed for 2,000 years. It was a fitting title for a discovery that promised to rewrite the annals of history and ignite imaginations for generations to come. The journey to this profound discovery began with painstaking research and a blend of scientific rigor and archaeological intuition. The Sinai Desert, with its stark beauty and historical resonance, had yielded its secrets slowly over centuries of exploration. Yet, it was the convergence of modern technology and ancient lore that ultimately led the team to Moses' tomb. Dr. Ella Hartley, known for her methodical approach and deep scholarly insights, had been drawn to the Sinai with a sense of purpose, an intuition that the desert held secrets waiting to be unveiled. Her career had been marked by a series of significant discoveries, but nothing could prepare her for the moment when Moses' tomb emerged from the sands. Beside her, Dr. Michael Hayes brought a historian's perspective, his passion for unraveling the past evident in every word and gesture. Together, they formed a dynamic duo, complementing each other's expertise as they pieced together the puzzle of Moses' final resting place. The tomb itself was a marvel of ancient craftsmanship, its sarcophagus adorned with symbols that spoke of a reverence reserved for prophets and leaders of old. As the team carefully documented each artifact found within its chambers, a staff weathered by time, scrolls bearing the sacred texts of Hebrew scripture, pottery fragments that echoed tales of an exodus, the enormity of their discovery sank in. For centuries, the story of Moses had been a blend of faith and historical inquiry, passed down through generations. Now, here in the heart of the desert, tangible evidence emerged that bridged the gap between myth and reality. The artifacts spoke of a time when Moses walked the earth, guiding his people through trials and triumphs that shaped the course of civilization. Amidst the scholarly debates and meticulous analyses, there was a sense of reverence for the past, a recognition that the discovery of Moses' tomb transcended academic inquiry. it was a moment of connection to ancient narratives, a testament to the enduring power of history to illuminate the present. As night fell over the desert, the team continued their work under the glow of artificial lights, preserving and interpreting each artifact with care. The resonance of their discovery echoed beyond the confines of the archaeological site, stirring imaginations and challenging perceptions of what was thought to be known. The implications of finding Moses' tomb rippled through academic circles and beyond. It sparked discussions about the nature of faith, the interplay between archaeology and religious belief, and the role of historical evidence in shaping cultural identity. For Ella and Michael, who had devoted their careers to unraveling the mysteries of the past, it was a validation of their life's work, a moment when theory and reality converged in a profound and unexpected way. In the days that followed, as news of the discovery spread across the globe, scholars and enthusiasts alike pondered the significance of Moses' tomb. Some questioned the authenticity of the find, citing the challenges of verifying ancient artifacts amidst the passage of time. Others embraced the discovery as a pivotal moment in understanding the origins of Judaism and Christianity, viewing it through a lens of theological reflection. For Ella Hartley, standing amidst the remnants of Moses' legacy, there was a deep sense of fulfillment, a recognition that their discovery would shape the narratives of future generations. The tomb, once sealed for millennia, had opened a door to the past, inviting humanity to explore its depths and contemplate the enduring legacy of one of history's most enigmatic figures. As she surveyed the artifacts laid out before her, a testament to Moses' journey and the Exodus story, Ella knew that their work was far from over. The desert sands held countless secrets, waiting to be unearthed by those who dared to seek the truth hidden beneath centuries of history. In the heart of the arid Sinai Desert, where the relentless sun illuminated the weight of centuries past, Moses' tomb stood as a beacon of discovery and a testament to the enduring quest for knowledge. As archaeologists and historians continued their exploration, the story of Moses and the Exodus took on new dimensions, resonating across cultures and generations. The tomb, with its ancient artifacts and inscriptions, offered a glimpse into a distant past, a time when prophets walked the earth and miracles shaped destinies. It was a reminder that history is not merely a collection of facts, but a tapestry woven from the threads of human experience and belief. As Ella and Michael stood amidst the artifacts, their hearts filled with reverence and awe, they knew that their discovery would leave an indelible mark on the pages of history. Moses' tomb, once lost to time, had been found, and with it, a new chapter in the ongoing search for truth and understanding. As the desert sky darkened and stars emerged overhead, casting a timeless glow over the ancient landscape, Ella whispered softly, "This changes everything." And indeed, the discovery of Moses' tomb had not only rewritten history books, but had illuminated the path forward, inspiring future generations to continue the quest for knowledge and enlightenment. In the heart of the Sinai Desert, amidst the echoes of ancient whispers and the shimmering sands, Moses' tomb stood as a testament to the enduring power of discovery, a legacy that would resonate through the ages, guiding humanity toward a deeper understanding of its past, present, and future. Ron Wyatt, a controversial figure in the field of biblical archaeology, made extraordinary claims about discovering significant sites mentioned in the Bible, including Sodom and Gomorrah, the Red Sea crossing, and Mount Sinai. His assertions, while fervently believed by some, have been met with skepticism and criticism from mainstream archaeologists and geologists. Wyatt's most sensational claim was uncovering the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah near the southeastern shore of the Dead Sea. According to biblical accounts, these cities were destroyed by a rain of fire and sulfur sent by God due to their wickedness. Wyatt pointed to several pieces of evidence to support his claim. He identified extensive areas covered in ash, which he interpreted as remnants of buildings and structures burned during the cataclysmic event. The purity and light color of the ash suggested to Wyatt an intensely hot fire, aligning with the biblical description of divine punishment. Additionally, Wyatt found small, round sulfur balls embedded in the ashen rock, which he argued matched the biblical account of brimstone raining down from the heavens. These sulfur balls, known for their high combustion temperature, added weight to Wyatt's claim. Moreover, Wyatt claimed to have identified faint, indistinct shapes in the rock and ash that resembled outlines of ancient structures, walls, streets, and buildings. He interpreted these shapes as preserved remains of the city's infrastructure, further reinforcing his belief in their identification as Sodom and Gomorrah. However, Wyatt's findings lacked peer review by independent experts, a standard practice crucial for validating archaeological discoveries. Critics argue that natural geological processes around the Dead Sea, which has been geologically active for millions of years, could account for the formations Wyatt identified. Geologists contest Wyatt's assertions regarding sulfur balls and ash deposits, suggesting these features could be explained by natural geological processes rather than a miraculous or divine event. Similarly controversial were Wyatt's claims about the Red Sea crossing during the Exodus. According to biblical accounts, Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, and when they reached the Red Sea, God parted the waters for their escape from pursuing Egyptian forces. Wyatt proposed that this miraculous crossing occurred at the Gulf of Aqaba, specifically pinpointing Nuweiba Beach as the site. To support his claim, Wyatt and his team conducted underwater dives in the Gulf of Aqaba and reported discovering coral-encrusted objects which they identified as chariot wheels and other artifacts. Wyatt interpreted these findings as evidence of the drowned Egyptian army's chariots. He also claimed to have found fragments of human and horse bones, along with other items he believed belonged to the ancient army. Wyatt highlighted an underwater land bridge at the crossing site, suggesting it facilitated the Israelites' passage when the waters parted. However, skepticism persists among experts, who argue that Wyatt's findings lack verification by independent archaeologists or underwater specialists. They contend that the coral formations observed could be natural and not necessarily remnants of chariots, thus questioning the validity of Wyatt's interpretations. After the Red Sea crossing, Wyatt asserted another bold claim. He had discovered the true Mount Sinai, the sacred peak where Moses received the Ten Commandments. Traditionally, Mount Sinai has been located in the Sinai Peninsula, but Wyatt identified Jabal al-Lawz in Saudi Arabia as the actual Mount Sinai. He based his assertion on various features found in this mountainous region that he believed matched descriptions in the Bible. Wyatt cited a large split rock near Jabal al-Lawz, which he argued resembled the one Moses struck to bring forth water for the Israelites during their desert journey. He also highlighted other geographical elements in the area, such as rock formations and valleys, which he argued aligned with the biblical narrative of Moses leading the Israelites through the wilderness. Despite presenting photographic and video evidence to support his claims, Wyatt's discoveries have not undergone independent archaeological or geological scrutiny. Consequently, many scholars and archaeologists remain highly skeptical of his assertion regarding Mount Sinai. They emphasize that the traditional site in the Sinai Peninsula holds centuries of historical and religious significance, supported by a wealth of cultural and archaeological evidence. Relocating Mount Sinai to Saudi Arabia, therefore, lacks compelling corroboration from mainstream archaeological research. In summary, Ron Wyatt's claims about discovering biblical sites such as Sodom and Gomorrah, the Red Sea crossing site, and Mount Sinai have sparked debate and controversy within the academic and archaeological communities. While Wyatt presented what he considered compelling evidence to support his assertions, including ash deposits, sulfur balls, coral-encrusted artifacts, and geological features, his findings have not been validated through rigorous independent scrutiny. Critics argue that natural geological processes could explain many of the features Wyatt attributed to divine intervention, raising doubts about the validity of his interpretations. Thus, while Wyatt's discoveries continue to captivate some believers, they remain contentious and unproven within scholarly circles.
5 red heifers. All these elements are in place for what some Jews and Gentiles believe is the key to building the third Jewish temple.
The red heifers were secretly transferred to Israel. Maybe you do not know. They are an important element in the construction of the third temple. This is an extremely strong signal that the construction of the temple will soon begin. Furthermore, this is a sign of the end times. You heard right, these cows really mean a lot to Christians and Jews. Perhaps this is the reason why Hamas was attacked on October 7th. What are these? So, is Israel preparing to retake the Temple Mount? Will the third temple be built? Please watch the entire video to get answers to these questions and not miss the shocking truth that I will reveal at the end of the video. If you find the video interesting and useful, please do us a favor and press the like and subscribe button. It really helps us a lot when releasing new videos. The red heifers. In the realm of religious symbolism and ancient traditions, the enigmatic presence of red heifers in Israel has captured the imagination and curiosity of many. These red heifers, or flawless red cows without any blemishes, carry with them a deep significance rooted in biblical commandments and prophetic beliefs. The narrative surrounding these rare creatures weaves together elements of religious ritual, purification rites, and the anticipation of a transformative era. The origins of this fascination can be traced back to the biblical era, where God's instructions to Moses and Aaron included a statute regarding the offering of a red heifer as a sacrifice. According to the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 2, "This is the statute of the law that the Lord has commanded. Tell the people of Israel to bring you a red heifer without defect, in which there is no blemish, and on which a yoke has never come." This commandment emphasized the importance of the red heifer being perfect and unblemished, as it would be used in rituals of purification and atonement. The symbolism attached to the red heifer extends beyond its physical characteristics. In Jewish tradition, the ashes of a red heifer mixed with water were used in purification ceremonies. This practice was particularly significant during the preparations for Passover, as those who were ritually unclean had to undergo a process of cleansing involving the sprinkling of water mixed with the ashes of the red heifer. The red heifer, therefore, became a symbol of purity and restoration, embodying the concept of spiritual renewal and atonement for sins. The significance of red heifers in Jewish thought also extends to eschatological beliefs regarding the Messianic age and the restoration of the temple. In Midrash Tanhuma, a collection of Jewish texts, there is a statement linking the red heifer to atonement for the sin of idolatry, suggesting a deeper spiritual significance attributed to these rare animals. Fast forward to modern times, and the appearance of red heifers in Israel has sparked considerable interest and speculation. On Thursday afternoon, September 15, 2022, 5 flawless red heifers arrived in Israel from Texas, USA. The Temple Institute, an organization dedicated to the restoration of the Jewish temple, played a central role in bringing these animals to Israel. A modest ceremony was held at Ben Gurion Airport to mark their arrival, with speeches highlighting the historical and religious significance of this event. The careful handling and monitoring of these red heifers reflect the reverence and importance placed on them within religious circles. 3 of the red heifers are publicly visible in Shiloh, while others are kept in undisclosed locations under strict observation. The Temple Institute has also prepared a massive altar in anticipation of the sacrificial rites that may take place during significant religious festivals such as Passover or the Feast of Weeks, Shavuot. The symbolism associated with red heifers goes beyond mere ritualistic practices. It embodies the hopes and beliefs of a community deeply rooted in tradition and prophecy. The meticulous care taken to ensure the purity and perfection of these animals reflects a profound spiritual connection to ancient customs and future aspirations. However, the presence of red heifers in Israel has not been without controversy or speculation. Rumors and whispers about clandestine sacrifices and secret locations have added an aura of mystery to the narrative. In some circles, there have been suggestions that the mere existence of these red heifers could have geopolitical implications, with references to statements made by Hamas linking them to certain events. The intertwining of ancient traditions, religious symbolism, and contemporary realities creates a tapestry of narratives surrounding the red heifers in Israel. Whether viewed through a lens of religious fervor, historical significance, or geopolitical intrigue, the presence of these rare and perfect animals continues to capture the imagination and spark discussions about the intersection of faith, tradition, and prophecy in the modern world. The significance of the red heifer. The appearance of red heifers in Israel. These enigmatic creatures, characterized by their flawless red coats and absence of blemishes, carry with them a profound significance that transcends mere biological uniqueness. Rooted in biblical commandments and imbued with eschatological symbolism, the presence of red heifers in the modern era evokes a complex interplay of religious fervor, geopolitical tensions, and prophetic anticipation. The origins of the fascination with red heifers can be traced back to the pages of ancient texts, where God's instructions to Moses and Aaron laid the groundwork for their ritualistic importance. According to the Book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 2, the Lord commanded the people of Israel to bring forth a red heifer without defect, emphasizing the meticulous criteria required for its selection. These instructions underscored the central role of the red heifer in purification rituals, wherein its ashes, mixed with water, were used to cleanse the impure and atone for sins. The symbolism inherent in this ritualistic practice extended beyond the physical attributes of the heifer itself, serving as a potent reminder of spiritual renewal and the quest for purity in the eyes of the divine. In Jewish tradition, the red heifer also held a deeper significance within the context of eschatological beliefs regarding the restoration of the temple and the ushering in of the Messianic age. Midrashic texts elaborated on the symbolic associations of the red heifer, linking its sacrifice to atonement for the sin of idolatry and foreshadowing a future era of spiritual redemption. This eschatological framework imbued the presence of red heifers with a sense of anticipation and expectation as believers contemplated the fulfillment of ancient prophecies and the dawn of a new age. Fast forward to the modern era, and the appearance of red heifers in Israel has reignited debates and discussions within religious and geopolitical spheres. The arrival of 5 flawless red heifers in Israel from Texas, USA in September 2022 marked a significant moment in the ongoing narrative surrounding these rare and mystical creatures. The Temple Institute, a prominent organization dedicated to the restoration of the Jewish temple, played a pivotal role in facilitating their arrival, underscoring the profound significance attributed to these animals within certain religious circles. However, the presence of red heifers has not been without controversy or opposition. For Israel's enemies, the arrival of red heifers represents not only a religious provocation but also a geopolitical affront to their claims and aspirations. A spokesman from Hamas condemned their arrival as a deliberate act of aggression, citing concerns about the desecration of Muslim places of worship and the potential disruption of the status quo on the Temple Mount. This geopolitical dimension adds a layer of complexity to the narrative surrounding red heifers, highlighting the intersection of religious symbolism and geopolitical realities in the modern era. Despite the controversies and tensions surrounding their presence, red heifers continue to evoke a sense of awe and wonder among believers and scholars alike. Whether viewed through the lens of religious prophecy, historical significance, or geopolitical intrigue, the presence of red heifers in Israel serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring power of ancient traditions and the complexities of faith in an ever-changing world. However, the significance of red heifers extends far beyond their immediate religious and historical contexts. They also serve as potent symbols of broader geopolitical tensions and theological debates. The arrival of red heifers in Israel has sparked controversy and opposition from various quarters, particularly among those who view their presence as a threat to established power dynamics and religious hegemony. For Israel's enemies, the appearance of red heifers represents not only a religious provocation, but also a symbolic challenge to their claims of exclusive authority over sacred sites. The association of red heifers with the potential restoration of the Jewish temple has raised concerns about the marginalization of Muslim heritage and the desecration of Islamic holy sites. This perception has fueled tensions and conflicts, exacerbating existing divisions and animosities within the region. Amidst these geopolitical tensions, religious believers and scholars find themselves grappling with the implications of red heifers in theological and eschatological terms. While some interpret their presence as a sign of divine favor and the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, others express caution or skepticism, citing the potential for misinterpretation and conflict. The complex interplay of religious symbolism, historical narratives, and contemporary realities underscores the multifaceted nature of the red heifer phenomenon and its implications for broader societal dynamics. In the midst of these debates and controversies, the Temple Institute remains steadfast in its mission to prepare for the construction of the Third Temple and reinstate the sacrificial system. Despite opposition and challenges, proponents of the temple restoration project remain undeterred, viewing the presence of red heifers as a tangible sign of progress and divine intervention. However, the path to the construction of the Third Temple is fraught with uncertainty and obstacles, both practical and theological. Questions regarding the logistics of temple construction, the role of religious authorities, and the implications for interfaith relations loom large, complicating efforts to realize this long-held aspiration. In the midst of uncertainty and turmoil, the presence of red heifers serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration for believers who see in them the fulfillment of ancient prophecies and the promise of a brighter future. Whether viewed as harbingers of divine intervention or catalysts for conflict, red heifers continue to fascinate and captivate the imagination, inviting believers and scholars alike to explore the mysteries of faith and the enduring power of ancient symbols in shaping the course of human history. The rebuilding of the Third Temple. The significance of the red heifers in contemporary discourse. As Abu Obaidah's speech unfolds, we find an unexpected connection between the arrival of red cows and the broader narrative of perceived Israeli aggression against Al-Quds, the Muslim name for Jerusalem, and Al-Aqsa, the iconic mosque on the Temple Mount. The reference to red cows alludes to the 5 red Angus heifers imported from Texas in September 2022, a joint effort between a Christian ministry, Bona Israel, and the Temple Institute in Jerusalem. While the story of their acquisition may seem mundane to some, it holds profound geopolitical and spiritual implications. The meticulous process of finding qualified heifers amidst a sea of cattle underscores the dedication and diligence of those involved. Teams of rabbis from both Dallas and Israel meticulously examined calves, ensuring they met the stringent criteria outlined in biblical commandments. Their efforts paid off handsomely as they discovered not just 1 but 5 blemish-free red heifers. A remarkable feat indeed. As of now, 4 of these heifers remain blemish-free, with Temple Institute rabbis expressing hope for a ceremony before Passover 2024. The significance of this ceremony cannot be overstated, as it harkens back to ancient rituals and prophecies regarding the restoration of the temple and the ushering in of the Messianic age. Indeed, the red heifer ceremony holds a pivotal place in Jewish tradition, with only 9 such ceremonies recorded since the time of Moses until the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD. According to some interpretations, the 10th red heifer ceremony would herald the arrival of the Messianic age, a belief shared by many in the religious Jewish community and among evangelical Christians with a futurist view of Bible prophecy. Yet despite the profound significance of these events, the story of the red heifers has received scant attention in mainstream media outlets in Israel. It is unlikely that secular Israelis are even aware of, let alone interested in, the presence of these heifers in their midst. However, for organizations like Hamas, the significance of these events is not lost, as evidenced by their use as a pretext for launching attacks and inciting violence. The Temple Mount, home to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, holds a central place in the Arab-Israeli conflict, with its status and control fiercely contested by both sides. The October 7th attack by Hamas, dubbed the Al-Aqsa Flood, is but the latest manifestation of tensions surrounding this sacred site, rooted in centuries of religious and political rivalry. However, beneath the surface of these geopolitical tensions lies a deeper theological debate about the significance of the Temple Mount and the prospect of rebuilding the Third Temple. For Orthodox Jews and some evangelical Christians, the rebuilding of the temple is not merely a political or historical endeavor, but a spiritual imperative tied to beliefs about the redemption of the Jewish people and the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Efforts to rebuild the temple have been underway since the late 20th century, spearheaded by Orthodox Jewish organizations like the Temple Institute. Despite opposition and skepticism from some quarters, these efforts continue unabated, fueled by a sense of religious fervor and eschatological anticipation. In the eyes of Orthodox Jews, the rebuilding of the temple is seen as a prerequisite for the redemption of the Jewish people and the restoration of divine presence in the world. For them, the absence of the temple represents a spiritual deficiency that can only be rectified through its reconstruction. However, the prospect of rebuilding the temple is not without controversy, both within the Jewish community and among broader society. Secular Israelis and some religious Jews view the temple as a relic of the past, incompatible with modern notions of democracy and religious pluralism. Moreover, the political ramifications of such a project are immense, with the potential to inflame tensions and ignite conflict in an already volatile region. Despite these challenges, organizations like the Temple Institute remain undeterred in their mission, viewing the rebuilding of the temple as a sacred duty and a harbinger of a brighter future. Whether or not their efforts will bear fruit remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The story of the Red Heifers is far more than a mere footnote in history. It is a potent symbol of the enduring power of faith, tradition, and prophecy in shaping the destiny of nations and the course of human history. The progress towards the rebuilding of the Third Temple. In the heart of Jerusalem's ancient landscape lies the Temple Mount, a site of profound significance for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. Yet, amidst the diverse tapestry of faith and history, one enduring aspiration stands out among Orthodox Jews: the restoration of the Third Temple. For them, it represents not just a physical structure but a spiritual beacon, a symbol of divine presence and redemption. However, the journey towards rebuilding the temple is fraught with complexities and challenges, both practical and theological. At the heart of these challenges lies the contested ownership of the Temple Mount, a site revered by Muslims as the Haram al-Sharif, home to the iconic Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. Israeli laws restrict Jewish prayer at the site, and those who visit face daily confrontations from Muslim vigilantes, underscoring the delicate nature of religious tensions in the region. Yet, recent developments have reignited hopes and aspirations within the temple movement, offering glimpses of progress toward the realization of their vision. One such development emerged from archaeological findings that challenged the denial of a Jewish temple's existence on the Temple Mount. British archaeologist Robert Hamilton's discovery of Jewish ritual preparations beneath the Al-Aqsa Mosque's foundations provides compelling evidence of the temple's historical presence, countering narratives that seek to erase Jewish ties to the site. Furthermore, efforts by the Sanhedrin, a religious governing body, demonstrate tangible steps toward reinstating future temple services. Initiatives such as the planting of the biblical temple forest and the restoration of the sacred red heifer reflect a fusion of ancient religious texts with modern scientific methods. The meticulous process of red heifer restoration, overseen by the Temple Institute and Israeli cattle experts, exemplifies this convergence of tradition and innovation. Training sessions and reenactments of temple ceremonies prepare the priestly class for their sacred duties, utilizing ritual vessels and a specially designed altar. However, the political dimension of reclaiming Jewish access to the Temple Mount remains a formidable obstacle. Israel's Supreme Court acknowledges the complexity of the situation, emphasizing the need for political, not just legal, action to assert Jewish sovereignty over the site. Looking ahead, biblical prophecy suggests a future political leader, the Antichrist, may broker a deceptive covenant leading to the temple's rebuilding. Proposals for international mediation involving representatives from the United Nations, regional powers, and religious leaders may pave the way for such a development. As we observe these unfolding events in Israel, anticipation grows for the fulfillment of biblical prophecy and the second coming of the Messiah. The journey towards rebuilding the Third Temple stands as a testament to the enduring faith and resilience of the Jewish people, intertwined with the complexities of geopolitics and divine providence. It is a journey marked by challenges, yet fueled by unwavering conviction and fervent belief in the ultimate restoration of Israel's ancient glory. In conclusion, the path towards rebuilding the Third Temple is fraught with obstacles, both practical and theological. Yet recent developments offer glimmers of hope and progress, as archaeological findings and religious initiatives reignite aspirations within the temple movement. As the world watches and waits, the journey towards rebuilding the temple serves as a testament to the enduring faith and resilience of the Jewish people, a journey guided by the promise of divine providence and the hope of redemption. In conclusion, the quest to rebuild the Third Temple stands as a profound testament to the unwavering faith and determination of the Jewish people. Despite facing formidable challenges and entrenched opposition, recent developments offer a ray of hope, signaling progress toward the realization of this ancient aspiration. As we navigate the complex intersection of faith, history, and geopolitics, it is imperative to approach these issues with sensitivity, respect, and a commitment to dialogue. The journey towards rebuilding the temple is not merely a physical endeavor but a spiritual odyssey, rooted in centuries of tradition and propelled by the promise of divine providence. As observers of these unfolding events, let us remain vigilant, prayerful, and engaged, recognizing the profound implications of these developments for the future of Israel and the broader Middle East. May we approach these discussions with humility, empathy, and a deep appreciation for the complexities of the human experience. Ultimately, whether or not the Third Temple rises again on the Temple Mount, let us draw inspiration from the enduring faith and resilience of the Jewish people as we strive to build a world guided by peace, justice, and mutual understanding. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and reflection.